Like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100 bands. I deserve another 100 fans. Told them this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing euros when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told them put a check up in my hands. Still got time, no cap. Made a few checks, but they all in the rest. Had a few friends, but they suck in the past. I don't even trip when I'm thinking about that. Hopped in the whip and we all in black. Shawty wanna ride to the hop in the back. 0 to 100, seen a rev on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues. Told them don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.
Fury fam, TD fans, channel home of the real Miami Dolphins fans. King Mill, what up? What up, everybody? Listen, number 1, smash the like button. Number 2, smash the subscribe button on TD's channel. Number 3, when you get a chance, the link's going to be in the comments. Go over to my channel, Phin Addict Fury with Larry K. Smash the subscribe button over there because we got content. We got content for days. Now it's hump day. It's Wednesday. I'm in a good mood. The week's half over. I hope you're in a good mood because the week's half over for you too. I hope it's a productive week. I hope it's a good week. I hope you're ready to talk some Dolphins football off-season drama with your boy Larry K. But if you're expecting, you know, the flowers and the roses and the rainbows and all the puffery, if you're expecting to be marketed to and treated like a fan who doesn't know any better, if you're expecting any of that type of stuff, I don't know if you're in the right place because last time I checked, this was the home of the real Miami Dolphins fans. And real Miami Dolphins fans know what's up. Roadrunner, what's good? Real Miami Cap, bro, what's good? Alex, what's good? Remember, y'all can hit the chat. I'm going to be talking to y'all all night. Hit the super chat, hit the chat. Let's get it popping. I have a lot of thoughts, guys. Miss Fins, what's up? I have a lot of thoughts about what we saw the last couple days. I do. And it's funny because I'm thinking these thoughts and then I turn on TD a day ago, and TD, as usual, he's just saying what I'm thinking already because TD is an objective, real Miami Dolphins fan, like I am, like you are. That's why we think the way we think. So let's talk about what we saw this week. Could we just talk a little bit about, we hire Mike McDaniel, and there's some things about Mike McDaniel that I really like. I really do like some things about Mike McDaniel, okay? First of all, I like the fact that he's a run game innovator, which we need. But here's the thing. If he's a run game innovator, which he is, then why did we have to deal with all that puffery and that little media tour, that little TMZ thing that went on this last couple days about Tua? They are playing. Look, I told you, if you follow my channel, if you follow my content, if you watch my videos, you know I've been saying for a long time, I have been saying that Stephen Ross, who I like to refer to as Mr. Magoo, Stephen Ross is all about the glitz. He's all about the glamour. He's all about what happens on the outside, and he's less about what happens inside, where it matters. He's less about the substance. He's always about marketing. Always about marketing. And I told you that, and I've been beating that drum. People don't want to listen to me all the time, but the truth is that this last couple days has proven Stephen Ross's approach to this football team and has proven how he's going to treat us fans. And the fact is that when we made this head coaching hire, what do most teams do when they make a head coaching hire? What's the substance thing to do? What's the football thing to do when you make a head coaching hire? You let the coach talk to his players and his team in private. In private, they talk to their players. They talk to the team in private. And they talk about what's expected of each other. And then what do they always do? They hit the presser. Then they hit the presser. And in the presser, they say, one of the first questions is, have you talked to Tua yet? And if you've talked to him, what was some of the things you said? And he always says, well, I spoke to Tua. I'm going to keep the conversation between the two of us private. But I spoke to him. I'm really excited to get to work. He expressed to me that he's excited. That's what they usually do. No BS, no nonsense, no media tour, just a straight up. And Brandon, thanks for agreeing, because it's true. The real Miami Dolphins fans know this, man. And so, and Roadrunner says, I think McDaniel will be good, but Tua is the problem. And I'm getting to that because I agree. I think that's a good point. But we didn't do just the press conference, let them talk in private. No, what did the Dolphins do? The Dolphins treated us like 6-year-olds watching TMZ or some celebrity gossip show. And the Dolphins put out a video that was obviously edited, so it's only showing some of the things that McDaniel said to Tua. And it's marketed so that he's saying, you know, I know you have a lot of talent in you. My job is to pull that out. You're a hard worker, kid. Can't wait to get to work. I'm so excited. They're treating us like clowns, guys. This media tour was not about an actual capture of candid conversation in private. That video was about not marketing McDaniel to us, and that's where I feel bad. I think McDaniel might have a lot of potential. But it wasn't about marketing McDaniel. It was about marketing Tua. And I told you guys from jump that this Flores firing abruptly, and I'm not going to talk about Flores because it's old news. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Don't worry, but I just have to reference it very quickly. This Flores firing was more about Tua and less about coaching. They could say all they want about he didn't get along with people. McDaniel's going to get along with everybody. We want a collaborator. We want an innovator. It's all nonsense. They decided that Tua is the guy. They're not taking any other chances. And they, at that minute, decided we're getting rid of Flores. We're hiring a guy who's going to puff up Tua. So that marketing, that phone call between McDaniel and Tua, that had nothing to do with McDaniel and marketing him or his innovation or him talking to Tua. That was showing the fans, look, guys, the head coach believes in him too. He's going to, guys, just wait. He's going to pull the talent out of him. And guess what, guys? All the reports you heard, they're not true. He's a hard worker. And McDaniels knows he's a hard worker. He's going to pull it out of him. What is that nonsense? We are not that silly to believe and fall for that type of thing. That was a marketing ploy to try to get us to market Tua to Tuaneers and other fans, to sell more Tua jerseys and to give us hope so that season tickets could be sold, jerseys could be sold, logo shirts and merchandise could be sold, because they want to get people excited again. They want to get people hyped up. Even though this team is the same because the quarterback's the same, even though we lost a head coach who might have been part of the reason we did well, it doesn't matter. They wanted to take our eyes off of that and focus on the hope. the fact that maybe Tua is going to be great. That's what they did. It was marketing ploys, man. And people are falling for it out here like, oh my God, did you hear what McDaniel said? He said Tua is going to be great. Come on, bro. That was rehearsed. And then they send McDaniel to the interview with the reporter, and he's just talking about it. It's all staged. It's all packaged up very nicely. It's like a politician who wants to sell you something, and they don't want to slip up. They don't want to say the wrong thing. The press conference, by the way, is 10 a.m. tomorrow, as I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong. The press conference is 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's when the press conference will be. And we finally get to really see McDaniel. We finally get to really see what McDaniel is all about, because we really haven't seen it yet. All we've seen is some staged phone conversations, which is, again, why I say that I just can't rock with this dude Ross, man, because he treats us like children. He treats us like we don't know any better. Like, yo, if I show the coach on the phone with this guy saying he's going to pull the talent out of him, these people are going to gush over it, and they're going to flock to it, and they're going to believe in it. Come on, bro. I'm not saying... Now, here's the thing about McDaniel, which is so interesting. McDaniel, and here's the thing with McDaniel too. Look, you could say right now, you could, at the end of the day, and as Brent says, this is why we can't have nice things, Larry. And it's true. It's why we can't have nice things, because this dude that owns this team treats us the way he does, man. Well, here's McDaniel. Like, I saw him in the interview. I saw his swag. I saw his presentation. I saw how he spoke. I saw all that stuff, right? And, at the end of the day, hashtag Mr. Magoo, True Blazer, it's the truth. And King Mill, thanks for it. Go subscribe to my channel, subscribe to this channel, hit the like button. But at the end of the day, McDaniel, like, I'm willing to look past some of the swag. Like, you look at him, you listen to him, you're like, does he have what it takes? Like, he might be a cool guy when he's drawing up the X's and O's. He might be a great guy when he's innovating in the back using his mind. But is he the dude? Is he the dude that's going to lead men, get them to run through walls for him, get them to fight? Maybe. He doesn't seem like it at first glance because of his general presentation. But I'm willing to look past that first initial presentation. I'm willing to look past that and give the man a chance, because I think he could be the type of dude who sneaks by you. You look at him, you think, nah, he really doesn't have it like that. Nah, he doesn't have the swag. But then he pulls one on you because he's determined, because he's a real dude. And he goes out there, he hires a staff. And he goes out there, he makes a difference, he innovates. He gets something, he has something with people where he connects with people. And he's able to motivate the team. I'm willing to give him that benefit of that doubt. But here's the problem. People are looking at him like he's some kind of quarterback whisperer. And the Dolphins, wrongfully, this is where the Dolphins messed up again now. This is where they're setting another coach up for potential failure. And they're setting another coach up for misguided expectations. See, the first video they send you, the first video they put out, they don't put out something about McDaniel coaching running backs. They don't put out something about McDaniel, with his family, other than one picture, who he is as a man, so the Miami, South Florida community could start vibing with him. They don't do that. The first video they put out, they tie him to Tua. The first video they put out is more about Tua than it is about McDaniel. So they're setting him up not as, oh, he's going to do something well that's going to vault and help this franchise. No, they're setting him up like, yo, he's going to make Tua great. He's going to make Tua great. So now his job, in the eyes of a lot of fans and the eyes of a lot of Tua fans, is he's going to make Tua great. What if he's just a good coach? And what if he, like Flores, after 1 or 2 years, decides, hey, yo, Tua's not my guy? Or what if he succeeds despite Tua? Do you think that this man as OC with the 49ers succeeded because of Jimmy G or despite Jimmy G? He succeeded despite Jimmy G, man. He ran innovative offensive schemes and innovative running and blocking schemes that disguise the limitations of Jimmy G as far as he could. And he could only disguise those limitations so far because the fact of the matter is, in this league with these rules, and don't tell me about 2000 because that's 22 years ago, and don't tell me about 72, and don't tell me about 84, and don't tell me about any of that. In this league today, you need an elite, game-changing, play-taking over quarterback to get to the promised land. Jimmy G showed you don't even have to make too many mistakes. It's just if you can't get over the hump in that last play that matters, you won't get there. And if anything, McDaniel should be looked at as saying, wow, he had a mediocre quarterback with Jimmy G and he still got that far. McDaniel is not a quarterback coach. I don't think he's ever been a quarterback coach in his career. And tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. And yeah, shoot the likes up. Listen to King Mill. Shoot the likes up. Hit me with a donation. I'll talk to you personally, whatever you got to do. But listen, McDaniel was never a quarterback coach. McDaniel was a run game coach, a wide receivers coach, an offensive coordinator. McDaniel has some offensive prowess. He has some X's and O's prowess. And he's got talent. But it's not necessarily geared towards the quarterback, and expecting him to pull this mysterious talent out of Tua and make Tua some kind of, high-end guy is unrealistic, and it's placing an unfair, unnecessary burden on McDaniel. And I see here, bro, our head coach never said out his mouth he was sticking with Tua at lesson. Didn't hear him say that. Everybody assuming. I don't get it. Well, bro, this is what you gotta, Bones. This is the thing. He didn't say that out of his mouth, but they set him up where it has to be, right? They could have just had him come in and talk to Tua in private and then done a press conference. And when they asked him about the quarterback situation, he could have said, well, I spoke to Tua. I'm excited to get to work, and leave it at that. And then they would have been, more of an opening for him to go out and maybe get another quarterback. But the way the Dolphins set McDaniels up, and it's McDaniel, isn't it? It's hard not to say McDaniels, but it's McDaniel. I know. They set McDaniel up where he's on the phone saying, I'm here basically because I believe in you, Tua. You're the dude, Tua. You're the guy I believe in. I'm going to pull all the talent out of you. They set him up. They didn't have to set him up like that, but they did. So now he's not going to be judged necessarily on how he does with the rest of the team. He's not going to be judged necessarily by how well he could win despite maybe an average QB play. He's going to be judged by a lot of people on how well he develops Tua, on whether or not he gets Tua to be great or not. And it's a shame. And Bones, I appreciate the back and forth, and I hear you. It doesn't necessarily mean he's sticking with him, but I think at this point, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I don't think so. I've said from jump, I think this was about Tua, and I think it's still about Tua. I don't think they're changing. I think they have decided they're going to stick with Tua, and that's what they're going to do. That's what I think. And that's where we are. And Jerry Man says, yep, so if old man Ross wakes up one day and decides he's tired of Tua, people are going to blame McDaniel. 150%. 150%. But here's the thing with McDaniel that I like. We have a quarterback with certain limitations, right? And part of the problem last season, and even in Tua's first season, part of the problem was that we relied too much on the passing game. We relied too much on Tua, and when we needed Tua to show out, he didn't show out. And now we have a coach come in who actually has a lot of ability to operate an offense outside of the quarterback position. McDaniel has the ability to be an innovator in the run game. Twin Truckers here. Funny how I just came from Reasons channel. Everything there is positive energy and optimism. I come here and it's doom and gloom, no faith. Bro, this is the home of the real Miami Dolphins fan. That doesn't mean that we hate on any other channel. Doesn't mean we hate on any other commentator. It doesn't mean that we're pessimistic or we're doom and gloom. All that means is we're just being real. If people can't see that the McDaniel hire and the marketing ploy that was put on this week is problematic, then I don't know what to really say. We're not sitting here saying we're rooting against the Dolphins. We're not sitting here saying we're done. We're just looking at the obvious facts of the situation and calling it like we see it. Like, you can't get out of what we saw this week and say, I mean, if you have a valid, point against what I said, that's one thing. But I mean, we saw what we saw and they're doing what they're doing. They didn't have to do it that way. And when they did it that way, it deserves to be called out, especially on TDPHINSTALK's channel, the home of the real Miami Dolphins fans. Let me tell you about what the real Miami Dolphins mean. Doesn't mean we're the only true fans. It's not what it means. What it means is we're being real with you. We are real with you. We are real with ourselves. We want to be all optimistic and just fanned out about everything because we're Miami Dolphins fans. DDG, home of the realistic Dolphins fans. That's the truth, right? I mean, that's all we're doing. We're not trying to be pessimistic. I mean, I'm going through a whole thing about how McDaniel actually could. McDaniel can positively shape this offense because McDaniel can formulate an innovative run game scheme, and can formulate an innovative blocking scheme that facilitates an innovative running game, which could take away some of the attention from quarterback play and the passing game. And TD says people love being lied to. It's true. It's like people ask to be lied to more and more and more. Like, show me the lies. Show me. It's like, no, I'm going to call out the lies. Because I'm going to call out the lies. And Alex Rodriguez says, nah, man, it's just your opinion. These aren't facts. I mean, really, though? What opinion have I given? I'm just calling out the truth about the marketing scheme. Now, if people don't think that that's a marketing scheme, I mean, I don't know. I got a bunch of salesmen might want to talk to you because they could probably sell you a lot of things if you want to be sold on things. I don't know. But at the end of the day, look, I have some faith in McDaniel because I'm not going to underestimate the cat. I'm not going to underestimate him. Like, for all we know, he's a genius. He went to Yale. He's got the cojones to fly on the plane down here with his family, do the video, take the job, get to work. I'm not knocking the coach. I'm optimistic about the coach. And at the end of the day, too, you can't blame a man. You can't blame a man for taking an opportunity that comes his way. This dude has been waiting for this opportunity for most of his life and his entire adult life. You saw Jeff Darlington tweeted out the resume that he had sent out before, when he was in 2005. He's wanted this opportunity his whole life. And so you can't knock a dude. You can't knock a dude for taking that opportunity. And you can't knock a dude before he even shows you anything. And Alex says, yo, tell me an improved offensive line and running game ain't going to help the pass game. What is Mike McDaniel? Listen, I agree that the running game is going to help the passing game. It always does. I'm just saying Tua is what he is, right? That's my point. That's my point. Like, McDaniel actually probably could improve the offense as a whole by improving the running game. So I'm supportive of that. I'm just saying, don't expect him to A, make Tua into something he's not, and B, don't expect him. And TD, what I've realized is if I give optimism, positivity, etc., I'd be straight up lying. I feel like a liar for all my positive takes in the last 3 years. It's true, bro. It's true, because why are we on here? We on here as we're not Miami. We don't work for the Miami Dolphins. We are fans. So we're going to be honest with our fellow fans based on what we see. We're not going to just cater to the Miami Dolphins ownership. That's not our job. Our job is to be real with our fellow people. We have our own people that listen to us. We got to be real with them. And I can't lie to people. What assistant Bo Brown, what assistant coach hire do you think will keep Gesicki? Bro, I don't know. Here's my thing. I'm curious to see what McDaniel wants from a personnel standpoint, right? Brandon, thank you. From a personnel standpoint, I'm curious about what he wants, because I don't even really know. Like, that's the thing. I'm not hating on McDaniel, right? Like, yeah, he's going to say that he believes in Tua to get the job because that was a requirement of the job. And that's another thing. Make no mistake. If you can't, they didn't require when you came in, like, oh, you better like Tua or you're not getting a job. No. But they made it like if the guy comes in and he says, I don't like Tua, they're going to say, well, he's not a fit. He's not a fit for what we want to do. And if he comes in, he says, I love Tua, I'm going to make Tua a star, say, that's the guy. That guy has a vision. So it was kind of a requirement that you said you could make Tua a star to get this job. You could pretend it wasn't, but it was. And McDaniel said, I can make Tua a star. But here's the thing. You can't knock McDaniel for that. You can't knock him for that. He's trying to get a job. So here's my thing. I want to see, because here, and this is true in all sports, from high school to pro football to basketball to hockey, whatever sport. And it's missed on a lot of people. People talk about the new generation of players. Oh, the players want everything. It's all about the players. It's not about the team. They want all the salary. They want this. They want that. They talk about the players a lot, and a lot of trash gets talked about players, right? But here's another thing. What about the new generation of coaches these days, right? Wouldn't a better, more capable coach be somebody who comes into a situation, sees the personnel they have, sees what they got, and is able to craft a system and is able to script a playbook that plays to the strengths of the team, rather than coaches coming in like they do so often today and saying, well, I run a specific scheme and this guy doesn't fit the scheme and that guy doesn't fit the scheme. I can't use that guy. I need that guy. And they just want to jam their scheme down everybody's throats and say, well, these players don't count for much. They can't run my scheme. How often do we see that nowadays? So here's my point, because it was a long-winded response to the Gesicki question and the McDaniel question. That's the first true test for me. I'm not worried about, like, I blame the Miami Dolphins for this media blitz. I blame the Miami Dolphins for the nonsense marketing. I don't blame McDaniel. But here's my first test from McDaniel that I really want to see. What does he do from a personnel standpoint this offseason, and how does it manifest itself on the field come week 1? Who does he bring in? Who does he keep? So you mentioned Gesicki. Gesicki is a unique athletic talent. Now, he has trouble in the blocking game, but he's a freak athlete split out. He causes matchup problems. He makes acrobatic catches. The defense has to pay attention to him when he's on the field. The defense has to always be mindful of him in game planning. The defense has to know where Gesicki's going to be and account for Gesicki. He's a weapon. Is McDaniel going to come in and say, I don't want him, he can't block, he costs too much money, get rid of him? Or is McDaniel somebody's going to say, I like that guy because he's got a unique skill set. And with his unique skill set, I can innovate, I can create, I can scheme, I can design something to utilize his strengths. He's got Waddle. He's got even Tua. Tua has unique strengths, right? I can knock Tua all I want in terms of being a franchise quarterback, but it's not like Tua doesn't have any strengths and doesn't have any weaknesses and doesn't have a unique skill set. The true test for McDaniel is, what does he do with the pieces that are here? What does he do with the pieces that want to be here? And how does he mold and design a scheme that enables those pieces to attain their optimal outcomes? If he can do that, then he's a very good coach. And if he can't, then maybe we go back to the same thing we've been complaining about for years with the Gases, with the Philbins, with all of that. And one of the things I noticed about Flores that people don't want to acknowledge was when he realized that the personnel grouping was not working for the schemes they were trying to run, he found ways to implement schemes, especially defensively, that played to our personnel strengths, which enabled us to win more games. That's the sign of a good coach. That's the sign of a good coach. So I want to see that from McDaniel, but don't get it twisted out there, guys. If McDaniel only takes us as far as Flores took us and he's innovating, then perhaps what might be going on is that certain positions and players are holding us back, like maybe Tua, but we'll see. Michael Regalado, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. First donation of the night, my bro, so you get extra attention for the rest of the night. I appreciate that donation. First one of the night. Half hour in, bro. You the man. What do you think about maybe acquiring Barkley. Here's my thing, right? That's it. Look, if you ask me that objectively, like outside the realm of the context, I would say I don't want Barkley because Barkley has had too many injuries. He's going to want too much money. This league is no longer a running back oriented league. This is much more of a passing league. And that's what I would say objectively. Now, if you're talking about from the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel actual standpoint, I would say if Mike wants him, I want him. You know why? Because if he's a running game innovator and he sits down and says, you know what, I need Saquon Barkley to make my offense come to life, to really implement the running game that I'm going to need to build around the personnel we have, to really unlock my scheme that I've been dreaming of implementing for years. If he wants Barkley, then I'm all for getting Barkley. Like, let McDaniel do what McDaniel wants to do and give him a real shot. Don't handcuff him. And that's what I'm a little worried about with them. Are they handcuffing this man to this quarterback? And are they handcuffing this man to how well this quarterback does? Like, for instance, like with Tannehill. If in a couple of years, if Tua is not that good, are they going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? Get rid of everybody, get rid of McDaniel because he didn't fix Tua? Or if McDaniel's showing signs of life, are they going to let him pick his own quarterback? I want to see. But if he wants Barkley, man, you go out and get Barkley because he's the head coach and he's the innovator and he's the man you brought in apparently to implement football schemes and tactics to win football games. So you stick with him and you do what he wants to do. Give him reign. And I'm curious, like I said, even with Gesicki, I'm curious to see what McDaniel does personnel-wise this offseason. I'm curious to see what he does personnel-wise this offseason. That's one of the main things I'm watching. Alex Lee says, still better than Flores' personality. Let's be real right now. We don't know anything about their personalities, really. We only know what they show us on when they're in their pressers. Flores was quiet. Okay. How was he in behind closed doors? We only have hearsay and, other nonsense. Bill Belichick, everybody thinks he's a jerk because in press conferences he doesn't say anything. But then you see the sideline videos where people are mic'd up, and Belichick is hilarious. He's talking to all the players. He's joking around. You don't know who's cooler and who's not. I don't know if he's got a better personality. Does he? Is he more entertaining to us? Will McDaniels be more entertaining to watch in press conferences for fans? Probably. Does that mean much behind the scenes? Does that mean much on the football field? Probably not. So, I guess. Let's see. You guys are talking to each other. You guys talking to me. Pray for new ownership. Yeah. Pray for new ownership. That's what I've been doing. Trying to pray for new ownership. That's all we can do. Charles Kane, your thoughts on coaching changes. Who should go? Who should stay? Offensive coordinator. I'm kind of intrigued by the defensive coordinator search, because half of me is like, why would they make a new coach keep the old defensive coordinator? Why would they do that to somebody? It's not fair to him. And any coach who would accept keeping the defensive coordinator from a previous regime is probably handcuffed and probably doesn't have a lot of say. And he's probably not the best coach that we want. On the other hand, I'm thinking I kind of like McDaniel saying, if it's true, we don't know if it's true yet, coming in and saying, I want Vic Fangio to run the defense. It's kind of interesting. It's like he wants like an alpha guy, which was the opposite of Flores. Flores never brought in an alpha offensive coach. He refused to. That was one of the biggest problems with him. That was one of the most legitimate criticisms against Flo, was he couldn't bring in an offensive coordinator who could carry his own weight. Well, if he's looking to bring in a defensive coordinator, McDaniel, who can carry his own weight, that's 1 point to him. I think that'd be a great thing. Now, schematically, does Fangio's system fit what personnel we have currently? I don't know. And that's going to be something we're going to have to figure out. And hopefully it doesn't do anything, detrimental to the defense short term. Offensive coordinator, I'm not sure. I saw he brought in an assistant head coach already, quarterbacks coach. Is that right? It was from 49ers. The name escapes me because I saw it when I was rushing home to get on here. But so John, and are you Greek, John? I'm thinking that with the last name. What's up, bro? Fangio ain't coming. I I mean, probably, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'd like to see somebody legitimate come in here like a Fangio or somebody. I don't know regarding the offensive coordinator because I think McDaniel is going to largely want to run the offense. What do you think it'll take to get Barkley? Well, we got to pay him. We got to pay him, and we got to pay him. He's going to be looking for a payday, and he's injury prone, so you're going to have to balance that out. John Embry, that's it. John Embry, head coach, tight ends coach. Sorry, assistant head coach, tight ends coach. And I like that hire. That Embry hire. It was fine with me. He was a good resume. I liked him. Look, I think to get Barkley, we're going to have to pay him. And, the Giants, I don't think they're in any rush to necessarily keep him. I don't know what we'd have to give up. I think the Giants are kind of going to be in rebuilding mode. You got Brian Daboll, who's more of I think, who knows, because it gets lost in translation because he had Josh Allen. But, I think he's going to build more through passing. So, yeah, that's what I was getting to. Barkley will have to be acquired via trade. That's what you're going to have to pay him because I think this is his last year on his contract. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then the Giants, they know they're going to only have one more year with him, and they're rebuilding. So I don't know that it would take that much to get him with somebody like Daboll who might want to build more through passing and might want to kind of go with a squadron of running backs. Maybe fourth, a third. Is Barkley worth a third or a second? Probably, but in the reality of negotiation, knowing that he's going to want to get paid and he's injury prone and knowing that the Giants might want to unload, maybe you get it. If you get him for a fourth, I don't know. And Topher, you say Barkley would be a stupid trade. I mean, listen, I agree objectively. I'm just saying if McDaniel wanted him for his scheme, then I wouldn't be against it because you got to give your head coach the people he thinks he needs to succeed. And that's just, part of the thing we have to do if we want to succeed. So Barkley, Elliott, stock down. Yeah, stock is down. That's why I'm saying it's not going to take us too much. I mean, you're talking about a 5th rounder for Barkley? Maybe. If McDaniel wants him that bad. I don't know. I don't know what McDaniel wants to build him because this Deebo Samuel thing, and that's another thing, man. This Deebo Samuels thing. Everybody keeps stop looking at the 49ers, please. Stop looking at the 49ers and always saying that just because McDaniel came here that this player on the 49ers is going to be, Waddle's going to be Deebo Samuels and this guy's going to be that guy. And this guy we have is going to be the new. It's different personnel for different teams that work different schemes with different quarterbacks and different conditions and different divisions and different conferences. Stop acting like we're just going to magically transform our guys into one of their guys. Our guys are different guys, different people. And they always told you in grammar school, you're unique. You're the only you. There's only us on the Dolphins, okay? So don't think that we're just everything's going to flip and just change overnight. And he's going to come in and make these guys those guys. Forget it. That's why I'm saying I want to look at him. If he tries to make our guys their guys, then he's not doing a good job. He should be coming in here and trying to make our guys the best out of us. Maybe McDaniel wants Patterson. Maybe he does. I don't know who he wants. I hope he gets somebody who's a beast. And I hope whoever it is a name that we can get. Let's be honest here, too. This is the thing that's, I think, a tough. And what do you think of the tight ends coach? Embry will be keeping Gesicki or moving on. And I like Smythe. And I think Smythe is probably more of the mold that these guys are going to want, like that dual tight end who can catch but can also block, who also runs after the catch and, carries guys a couple yards, puts his shoulder into it, does real well. But that doesn't mean, that's why I'm saying, I'm curious. Do they see a guy like Gesicki and say, oh, I could do something with him? I haven't had a player like that before, but I can do something with him. Do they do that? Or do they say, nah, he's not the mold I'm used to dealing with, just get rid of him? And that tells me a lot about the coach and his ability to innovate. They call him an innovator. Well, let's see him innovate these personnel. Let's see him innovate now. And Mike, you've been donating left and right, bro. You special props to you tonight, bro. Special props. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for supporting all that we do over here. I mean, we're just trying to have this conversation on a hump day. And I know as we go through the off season, eventually the conversation might get a little worn out and there might be less to say, but we're going to keep at it regardless because we want to be a home for real Dolphins fans to come and converse and to come talk about what's going on and to explore what's happening. Giants can't go rebuild because of Jones' rookie contract, and they have to do a quick turnaround with the Giants. See, that's the thing too, right? The Giants are in a weird position, but similar to Miami, right? Similar to Miami, you have a quarterback who a lot of fans are saying we don't really believe in, we don't really rock with, we don't think he's the answer, but yet he's still on his rookie deal. He's still young. He's still shown some flashes. Like these head coaches, this is what I don't. The Giants getting rid of their coach, I mean, I think it was a long time coming. But Miami, I don't agree because it's like, I always say a regime is the GM, the head coach, and the quarterback. That's like a regime in football. So it's kind of weird when you get rid of the coach before the quarterback or the GM before the coach or the quarterback before the GM. It's kind of weird. Like they got rid of Flo and they brought in a new coach, but they still have the quarterback. So like he's stuck with him. But if he fails, do they get rid of both of them? Do they get a new quarterback? It's just a weird time to make a change, and the Giants are in the same situation. So it's an interesting thing. Like we're both looking for quick turnarounds, but like, are we going to get it? I don't know. And that, like, if we don't do well next year, are you going to put it all on McDaniel? Like, maybe it's not McDaniel's fault. Maybe he wants to build what he wants to build, and it wasn't here when he got here. It just puts us in a weird, precarious situation, which is why I just don't love the decision from jump. I just don't. Gerald Alexander, promote him. I could see that, and that's not a bad idea. And then somebody saying Gesicki ruins the defense. I mean the offense. I missed the rest of that comment, but I don't think he ruins the offense. You saw he rotates in, he rotates out. When you need a bigger tight end package, he comes out. When you want him in there for a faster, spread package, he goes in. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And as Miss Fans is saying, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, smash the subscribe button over at Larry K, Fanatic Fury, because we are going to continue to bring you this stuff. So yeah, Gesicki, and S. Brent says it. Gesicki's a playmaker. Good things happen when he gets the ball. It's true. It's just true. You really can't get around the fact that good things happen when Mike Gesicki gets the ball. And he's a player that creates things. He's a playmaker. You shouldn't be getting rid of playmakers. You should find ways to make playmakers work for you. And if you're a good coach, you should be able to do that. Yeah, when you kick your head, Raziel the Great says, when you kick your head coach, that QB should also go with him. Otherwise, you'll end up with a worse situation next season. Learn, Phin fans, learn. You're probably right. And that's why somebody else I saw said Ross, a.k.a. Magoo. Magoo has ruined a once proud franchise. We went from the hard-nosed, tough football royalty franchise of Don Shula, Larry Zonka, Jim Kick, Paul Warfield, O.J. McDuffie, Dan Marino, Irving Fryer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was okay as a running back, Ricky Williams, Ronnie Brown. Anthony Fasano had a good year in 08. We went from the fins of them to TMZ type videos of the coach saying, hey, you're a great guy. I'm going to pull the talent right out of you. Stop. Ross is just not a football man. Magoo is not a football man. Magoo is a marketing man. He's a glitz man. He's a orange carpet guy. He's a sell jerseys guy. Sell to a jersey, sell season tickets. That's what he's about. It's not about winning on the football field. And that's just going to boil down to. But I can't talk about Ross all the time forever. I'm going to have to talk about the Fins. So I'm curious to see. And I'm curious about the presser tomorrow, right? I want to see how he comes off in the presser. Everybody says that McDaniel has this amazing personality and he, connects with people and he has funny, pressers and he's got so much charisma. I didn't necessarily see it in these other two interviews or the phone call. I didn't see this glowing personality. I'm not knocking him, but I didn't see it yet. So I'm curious to see it tomorrow. Hopefully we get the chance to take a look at it and hopefully he does shine through. You know what I'm much interested to see with McDaniel on the presser tomorrow? I'm interested to see what his vision is. Like, don't tell me you're going to pull the greatness out of Tua, and don't tell me you're so excited because Miami's a storied franchise, and don't tell me you're an innovator. Tell me specifically, I want to hear from McDaniel. what specifically are you going to do to work with the talent and personnel we have on this field against the competition we have in the AFC East and in the greater AFC to get us to the next threshold, which we haven't seen in nearly 20 years, which is not only getting to the playoffs, but winning a playoff game. I want to hear from McDaniel candidly at a press conference what he's going to do and what his plan is to get us there. That's what I want to hear. And I'm curious if he's going to get into it tomorrow or if it's just going to be more veneer, more facade, more glitz, more glamour. And I think it's going to tell us a lot about him as a coach to hear from his own mouth how he plans to do that. And we will learn a lot about him come tomorrow morning. I promise you that. Van Joe says, is it Von Joe? Larry, Papa Hog, Larry K again, spitting facts. Papa Hog, bro, good to see you. As always, I try to just spit facts. That's what we do on this channel. And I try to stick with the tradition of TD's channel and just spit nothing but facts. So I appreciate the love. Von Joe, hey, Larry, how are you? Are you ever going to have a panel for people to come up and converse? Yes, I am. I'm going to have a panel. I'm going to have guests on. I just wanted to kind of warm up with the solo thing a little bit and kind of, you know, exchange with you guys and talk to you guys, just a one-on-one face-to-face. But what I'll do is I'll either put together a panel and I'll either have you guys kind of send me requests before the show, maybe like, yo, I'd like to come on. Here's what I want to talk about. And then maybe I'll give TD a list like, yo, send the link to this, and this person, you know, 3-4 people, 2-3 people, and have a productive panel. Sometimes the panels, you know, you have so many people and they're all talking over each other, and it goes a lot of different ways that it becomes almost like a lot of a noise chamber. So I'd rather narrow it down when I do the panels. And I'm thinking maybe every couple weeks I'll do a panel with a couple people and we'll talk. And even if I go on a rant for like the first 15 minutes, then I'll bring the panel in and we'll kind of go back and forth and talk about issues that everybody wants to discuss and, you know, get everybody's perspective on it and kind of engage with people that way. I think that's definitely on the horizon. So, and if you're interested on coming on a panel, go to my channel, subscribe to me, and send me a message and say, yo, I want to come on the panel. Here's what I want to talk about, whatever. And then I'll talk to TD and I'll link it up and I'll make it happen. But that's definitely on the horizon, 100%. What else we got here? You thought with Brady gone, this division was wide open. 2 years later, it looks like the Fins are destined to be just better than the Jets. Bro, that's what's so sad, right? The era has changed, right? Like you look at Burrow, you look at like all these new young guys, you look at the new Super Bowl, it's the Bengals, Rams, and at the end of the day, you're like, wow, the era changed. Brady's gone. The Bills but the Bills took it, right? Somebody was going to take the East, and you know who took it? The Bills. They took it. You thought it was going to be us. For so many years, we were always in second place. But when the one time Brady finally leaves and the Patriots are finally on the downswing, who takes it? The Bills. Not the Dolphins, the Bills. It's just sad. Larry, do you agree or disagree with the idea of trading X? I mean, look, from a shrewd businessman standpoint, trading X while his value is high when he's a ticking time bomb with some of the knee injuries and he's going to get older and you're paying him a lot, trading him is probably a smart, shrewd move. But as a fan, you just know that X has at least 1, maybe 2 more years in him where he's going to be a game-changing player. And one of the things we seem to lack and have lacked in this franchise for the last at least 10 years is a game-changing playmaker and game-changing playmakers. So as a fan, it's going to hurt if we move X just because you're going to lose that game changer. He won the Patriots game for us single-handedly. He changed the momentum of other games with pick sixes and things of that nature. And he's really gotten us, you know, W's. So getting rid of him is tough. But at the same time, if you want to invest in the offensive side and maybe you want to capitalize while his value is high, because if he gets hurt again, his value goes all the way to the bottom. But if it depends on the philosophy of the front office and it depends on the philosophy of Magoo, as Justin points out, and it depends on the philosophy of McDaniel, right? Do they think they can win now? Does McDaniel think he can bring in certain people? And with those people, does he think that he can win now? And if that's the case, then I think you keep X because X is a great playmaker on the defensive side of the ball. If McDaniel's like, no, we realistically are not ready to compete yet, I need a couple of years, then maybe you move on from X because you get draft capital for him, or you get maybe another player for him that's younger, and you go from there. That's my overall opinion on it. I would hate to see him go, but that's just kind of the conundrum we're in. I could see the logic. I could see the argument for either side of that, which is why I try to be objective on the show. I could see the logic for either side of that, to be 100% honest. But look, it's going to be a long off season. It's going to be interesting just to see where they go. And I hope he doesn't start crying again about his contract. I agree. I mean, at this point, he got paid last year. The team didn't do great. We switched head coaches. He had a good year, but it was comparable to the year previously. He shouldn't be asking for another contract. And if he does, then I think it might be time for the Dolphins to just step up and say, hey, let's move on. I mean, that's just reality. I mean, he's getting paid pretty good. He made his stand. If he wants to be here, he should stay here and he should be on his contract. If he doesn't want to be here, then he doesn't have to be here. And that's really it. But we'll see. And I'm curious, guys. We're going to see tomorrow. That's the next thing on our agenda, is to see McDaniel and McDaniel's press conference tomorrow and see how he comes off and see what his exact plan is. We want to see what his exact plan is tomorrow. And we want to see how he comes off when it's not a doctored, pre-done, for show, doctored, staged video. I want to see him just riffing with the people like me and TD and everybody else on this channel. What do? Jolie did it just before. We watch the comments, you fire questions, we answer the questions. I want to see him in that environment and see how he comes off in his natural way when he's just being asked questions he wasn't ready for the answers, with. Not the way they staged it. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for McDaniel. I don't like how the Dolphins are trying to stage it. I don't like how they're just trying to promote Tua through McDaniel, using McDaniel to promote Tua. I don't like it. Not because it's the worst thing ever, not because McDaniel's not going to win, just because I just feel insulted when they try to pass that off on me. Like, I don't know any better. Don't do that. Don't do that, Ross, Magoo. Don't do it, Magoo. Don't do it. But in terms of McDaniel, I'm excited about McDaniel. I think he really might innovate the run game, and I love the run game, and I love defense. And as a football fan, I'm excited. I just don't know if the run game alone is going to succeed in this modern game, in this modern NFL. No matter how much I love the old I-back formation, I formation with Larry Zonka and like the fullback catching passes and blocking. And as much as I love that and miss that, I just don't know if that's the formula, like running. I know he doesn't run an I formation, but I'm just saying he's a run innovator. I don't know if a running game is going to get us to the promised land in 2022, but I hope so. Now, guys, my time's winding down. It was another awesome Wednesday with you guys. I came in on fire last week. I'm trying to, keep pace this week and do what I do. If you haven't already, please hit the like button on this video. Share this video when it's over. It's still available. Like after it's live, it's still available in recorded version. Please share this video on all social media outlets. Share it with your friends. Make sure people see it. And then subscribe to TD and subscribe to this channel, because this is the home of the real Miami Dolphins fans with real commentators and real content and always objectivity. And then please go over to my channel, which is Fanatic Fury with Larry K, just like it's spelled on the screen here, which the link has been dropped several times. Please go over there and click subscribe to my channel. I release content all the time, and I am here weekly. Every week at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I am live on TDPHINSTALK, and you can catch me here. And we're going to start doing some panels. We're going to start getting some discussions. And another thing you can do is send me questions before the show, and I'll answer them. And, but when the show's going, I'll try to keep up with the comments. You hit the super chats. We talk. It's all good. But I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers over on my channel. I'm at 8. I was at 839 when I first got on here. So if we can push me, just push me. We're trying to get to 1,000 because a lot of things open up when you're at 1,000, and it just helped me. So go over there. TD's dropping the link. I see him dropping the link. Go subscribe. Push me over that limit. Like we're going. We're inching. If you like the content, if you like real talk, and if you like the way that I kind of riff with you guys, do me the favor and go subscribe. But in the meantime, look, stay tuned to TD TDPHINSTALK. This channel is a beautiful thing. It's an innovative thing. And TD has really provided a great atmosphere and a great environment for, you know, up and coming content creators and Dolphin, you know, people in the Dolphins community to connect with each other and get their voice out. And I think that what we got going on this channel, yo, Mr. Fowler, thank you so much for subbing, bro. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, just real quick, just go over there, just smash subscribe real quick. Get me to 1,000. Get me to 1,000. I'm still gonna be on here, but get me to 1,000, will you? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But Papa Hog, yeah, he's been on it, man. Papa Hog's been on it. We've been on it. But look, I'll be here next week, and whatever happens at the press conference, I'm looking forward to talking about it with you guys next week. And I'll have content, and I'm looking forward to watching TD all week. Sometimes, like I said, I'm thinking something. I go to I see if TD's live, and if TD's live, I click it, and I'm watching TD vibing, just vibing.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
I'm good, bro? Man. Great show, man.
I appreciate it. I saw you commenting in there, so I saw you were actually in the viewer role where you're watching and commenting. That was cool, man.
I don't often get to watch, and now I've just been excited like a kid in the candy store in the evenings, getting to watch all the different takes and things on our Dolphins, man. And you always have a great one, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I had blast again, man. A blast again. So can't wait to do it again next week, bro.
And I'm already subscribed to your channel, by the way.
Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
If you're not subscribed, make sure that you go subscribe. What do we got? Like 3 more minutes? Yeah, there go EM talking about TD Foolish Talk. Whatever, man. I'm waiting on you, EM. You seen him on Twitter. We've been atting you. They going off on Twitter, man. But anything else you got for us, Larry K?
Well, that's about it, man. I just want to see how McDaniel does in the presser tomorrow because I want to see him outside that staged environment, you know. And once I hear from him, I'll report back on it next week, you know. But that's all I'm waiting for.
Got it, man. Listen, I'm gonna go live next. I'm gonna do a quick hitter because I got some breaking news. At least to me, is breaking news. I didn't know about this. It dropped about 4 hours ago about Roger Goodell. His take. So I'm about to talk about what he said about having the power to get rid of Stephen Ross potentially. So we're gonna break that down next up, man. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, again, make sure you go over to Phin's Addict Fury with Larry K. The link is in the comment section. We got to get this up to 1,000, man. I mean, the man is 140 something away.
We're working on it.
So we're on our way, man. We got to get that channel definitely at 1,000, man. So do your part. Make sure you go subscribe, show your love and support, especially if you love all the content, because he's doing TD a favor by dropping content on his channel, man. He's showing me love, and I appreciate that, Larry.
Love it, bro. And I can't wait to be back next week, bro. I'll be watching you tonight.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, man.
Later, brother.
All right, everybody. I'll be live in about 3 minutes. See you.